Are there any mothers here today? I am too. Do your kids go to good schools? Mine do too. Do you own your own home? I did too. And that was until my life changed forever. I never, ever thought that I would be in prison. Ever in my life, wouldn't have dreamed it. I thought I'd done all the right things that I was supposed to do, that were taught growing up. I got an education, I worked, I got married, I had children, I bought a home, owned cars, but I always felt like something was missing. And I couldn't quite figure out what it was. Until one day I went to work and a friend of mine gave me a pill. And I thought, yes, this is it. I finally found what's been missing. The one little thing that just is going to make everything perfect. As you all can guess, that is exactly the opposite of what happened. My life just spiraled out of control. I lost everything. The pills became a priority in my life over everything, my family, especially my children, which is something that I never thought would happen. I never in my life thought that I would ever choose anything over my children. I'm sorry, I still get emotional. My children were my world. Everything I did was for them, but I just could not stay away from drugs. I lost my home, my husband, my family, everything. And I didn't even realize it was happening until it was lost. I was homeless. I was sleeping on couches of random people's homes. I had nothing, nothing. I had no self-worth, no self-respect. I had no hope. I was in such despair that I honestly reached a point where I did not care if I lived or died. And I really, truly felt that way. I thought that my family and that my children would be better off without me. And I know now that that's not true. But I had done so many wrong things in my life that I just felt like, why would they want me now? I'm just a burden to everyone that knows me. And I just couldn't face the reality of it. I continued to use drugs because I wanted to numb myself, and I wanted to numb the hurt that I had inflicted upon myself and my family. I didn't want to face it. Eventually, I made a really bad decision, the worst decision I've ever made, and I ended up with a 10-year sentence here at BWCI. Now, having to face the reality, waking up in here sober and realizing what I had done, my crime, my victim, what I'd done to myself, that chances were that I probably wouldn't even have the opportunity to see my children again, was more than I could handle. I had never even been inside of a prison, let alone sentenced to 10 years of doing time inside of one. And I was scared. I thought that prison was what you see on TV. Violent, dangerous, people hurting each other, sleeping with one eye open. I mean, just crazy stuff that they do, which I'm sure some prisons may be that way, but not this one. I have had a misperception of the women that are behind bars, which I'm sure a lot of people that have no knowledge of what prison is like have as well. I couldn't have been more wrong. It was a complete misjudgment on my part because I have met some of the most talented, caring, and supportive women I have ever had the fortune to meet in my life behind these bars. These women have picked me up, showed me how it goes in here, because I had no clue of what to do. They fed me, they did everything, showed me where I take a shower, I mean, just my day-to-day living. I had no idea, and they supported me. And these are women that some people from the outside would view as violent criminals that care about nothing but themselves and don't have any kind of compassion whatsoever, and it couldn't be further from the truth. And that's the reason why I feel so strongly about this subject of second chances, because we deserve a second chance. We work hard in here, we've earned it. These women, I see the hurt and the pain that they go through when they don't have any family support because their families don't want to speak to them anymore. They miss their children. They can't even speak to them on the phone, but still they get up every single day. They go to school. They go to work. They participate in programs, all for the sake of bettering themselves. So that way, when they leave here, hopefully someone will give them a second chance when they get out of these doors one day. And they deserve it. I can only speak for myself. Oh, sorry. But when I first got in here and I had to be in a room with someone and things along that line, I was scared to death. But my very first roommate is the person, I looked at her when I walked in and I was scared to death because I said, oh, this is not who I want to be in a room with. This is a scary looking individual and I do not want to be in this room, and now I'm going to be stuck in there with her all day. And you know what? Right there, misperception. She was the nicest woman, and I'll never forget her. My whole 10 years here, I will never forget that one person because she showed me kindness and she showed me things, the compassion that I have turned around and try to show to people that are first coming here as well. And it's how people view us. And here's an example. After I was here for about 9 months, I finally got the opportunity to talk to my ex-husband. Now, he has my daughters. I have 2 little girls and I have an older son. He lives in Maine, so I don't get to see my daughters, but he was letting me talk to them finally after I was here for a while. And our first phone call, he said, I feel like our whole marriage was a lie and I don't even know who you are. Well, I was devastated. Like, he was my best friend. I was married to this man for years. We had children together. Vacations, the years and years and years of memories, you just totally disregard because I committed a crime and I'm in prison. It's not fair. It's not fair. And believe me, I'm not standing up here saying that everybody should just, turn a blind eye and forgive everybody for what they've done because we want a second chance. We deserve a second chance. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has made a mistake. And everyone here, I'm sure, has as well. Why can't we get that second chance that we deserve? Do I deserve the punishment for my crime? Yes, I do. But do I deserve to be labeled and ostracized for the rest of my life because of it? No, I don't. It's easy to come in here and give up on yourself and not put the work in. But the majority of the women in this prison are working very hard for their redemption. And I feel like the word needs to get out that we are people in here too. I feel like when you go, you're sentenced to prison, you're put in jail, and a lot of times you're gone and forgotten. You're just a convict who is going to be a criminal for the rest of your life, and that's who you are. We get released, we carry around the stigma of being a criminal, untrustworthy, a liar, deceitful. People can change. We work very hard in here to change ourselves. We want to change. We want help. We want to be better people when we leave here. We want opportunities. We want to get our families back. We want to see our children. Why can't we if we're trying? Let me leave you with this. The next time that you meet someone who has a criminal history or has been incarcerated, please don't judge them on their past. By giving them a chance, you may change their life. Thank you.